Haynes, please come forward.
Hi, my name is Feil, F-E-I-L, and I live several blocks from here. The first toddler funeral that I ever went to was Jacob Malay's. He wasn't yet 2 years old. He died of crib death, and he lived, and he died in Midlothian. That's where the cement kilns are. I had no idea when we went to visit our friends what those big silos were. I thought they were grain elevators because I used to live on River Road in Norco, Louisiana, and where I worked was adjacent to a grain elevator, so I was familiar with the dust that was in the air. Never did I ever imagine that I would learn the word downwind when they were referring to the DFW area where I live here in Arlington to be such a dangerous place for my children and me to breathe. 8 years living and working on Refinery Row in Norco, Louisiana, and I lived in New Sarpy, I worked in Norco, gave me a great distaste for industrial toxins. It was very visible, the pollution, and you can smell it and you can taste it. And I had no idea that when it was that noticeable how bad it could be for you, but worse still, the people that live here in the Metroplex have no idea that what they can't see, what they can't smell, and what they can't taste can truly be harming them. Now, I moved here over 20 years ago, and I worked across from General Motors, and I thought, well, you know, this isn't as bad as Refinery Row, so I put up with it. Well, then when they started fracking for natural gas, out came the respirator that I had to have on certain days. Sometimes I can't even go out of the house without this with me. It is such a crutch to think about, what did I do with my respirator? You know, I'm trying to leave the house, where's my respirator? What do I do with it now? Benzene comes to the EPA and TCEQ hearings. He's my dummy with a respirator. He's an example of what we don't want our children to have to wear, and people like me who are the canaries in the cage that have previous exposures that have to wear today. It's a reality for me that I need my respirator. Next week, they're going to frack 2 blocks from my house by the Cowboy Stadium here across the tracks. We've got General Motors 562 tons per year VOCs, their 2 gas well pad sites and their 22 plus gas wells. We've got UTA down the street, I'm downwind from them, their 22 gas wells. We've got the General Motor, we've got the Midlothian cement kilns blowing our way. We've got the Cowboy Stadium and the Ranger Stadium pollution from all the vehicles. We are just overdone here in Arlington. But you know, when I was interviewing some people outside half an hour ago, I found out a person came from New York, some other people came from South Carolina. I was just amazed at their testimony and the sickness and death that the mercury that is put out from these cement kilns and the brain cancers that people have to endure living in close proximity. So I feel for those on the fence line, like I used to be, for those that are completely unaware of the pollution. Out of sight, out of mind, does not mean out of harm.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Feil. Mrs. Haynes, please.
I'm Nancy Hines. Last name is Hynes. I'm a concerned citizen. Thank you for being here and giving us this opportunity to speak. I know you're here considering whether to justify what I consider a rather extreme loosening of standards, air quality standards. I'm here to embody the consequences and hazards of the present standards. DFW area is already one of the most difficult in the United States for allergies, and environmental considerations are a growing issue here. So